Peace, peace. This your host, Selah Shalom. And the topic of discussion today is called Drujas, Spirits of Darkness. Now, in the OAHSPE, they labeled spirits of darkness Drujas. And these are spirits who have not learned to progress spiritually, but mainly live in their old habitat, continuing on in their old habits. Now, in the book of Sentences, chapter 23, verse 14, it states, verse 14, "The kingdom of Horeb was broken up and dissolved. The spirits loved not to labor and to learn according to Jehovah's plan, but returned to the earth ornaments, and they were called Drujas, because they desire not resurrection." So here is defining the definition of a Druja, showing that they desire not resurrection, nor do they like to labor in service to Jehovah. Now, in the book of Eighth, chapter 19, verse 3, it states, "But those who will not become Esaians, being the spirits of drunk mortals and hard bound to the earth, shall be called Druj, signifying wandering spirits of darkness and of evil. And those who engraft themselves on mortals shall be called Fetals, signifying sucklings. And these names shall continue in heaven and on earth to the end of the world." So here again, Drujas refer to the spirits of the dead, who are wandering, not organizing themselves in the first resurrection, but rather continuing in their old ways, as they did while alive on earth, and even engrafting themselves on mortals, possessing mortals, and obsessing mortals. Now, in the book of Fraggy Patty, chapter 21, verse 6, it states, verse 6, "Nevertheless, there are many spirits in heaven who have not fulfilled either a spiritual life or a corporeal life, and they can see but little and hear but little, for which reason I command that they should be called Drujas, signifying spirits of darkness." So here again, basically saying that the spirits are very little educated in the first resurrection. They can see little and hear little, signifying they're in a state of absence, in a state of darkness, unconscious to the heavenly order. Now, in the book of God's Word, chapter 30, verse 5, it states, "Even as ye find two people on earth, so also do two people exist in heaven. The one followeth the highest light, and ever rise towards the highest heaven. The other follows the affairs of earth, and rise not, and hence is called Druj. The later engages in sensualism and quarrelings among mortals, inspiring them to evil and low desire." See that? So here it's showing you the parallel, as above, so below. So as mortals exist on earth, not progressing, so do angels exist in the atmospheric layers belonging to the earth, not progressing in the first resurrection. And then it gives you another description of the characteristics of the Druj, saying engaging in sensualism, quarreling, inspiring mortals with evil and desire. So here it's showing you how the spirits of darkness can inspire mortals. Now, in the book of Micah, son of Jehovah, chapter 14, verse 9 through 11, it states, verse 9, "Such angels as engraft themselves on mortals, becoming as twined spirits to the one corporeal body, shall be known as reincarnated spirits. But where such spirits usurp the corporeal body, as of an infant grown up in the corporeal body, and holding the native spirit in abeyance, such spirits shall be known as demons," which was the origin of that name. Verse 10, "Spirits who inhabit mortals in order to live on the substance mortals eat and drink, and often absorbing the strength and life of mortals, shall be known as Uzayans, or vampires. Nevertheless, these shall not include Fetals." Verse 11, "All the foregoing who are not in the ways of resurrection shall be called Drujas." So collectively, this summons up what a Druj is, the spirits of darkness, who have not learned the system and order of the first resurrection. Many of these people, when they were alive on earth, were more likely robbers, killers, murderers, thieves, things of that nature. So when they cross over in spirit, they carry on their characteristics, inspirations, and behaviors with them, and also inspiring mortals with the same drive, henceforth mortals becoming obsessed and possessed by the spirits of darkness. Now, Book of Micah, son of Jehovah, chapter 14, verse 16, it states, verse 16, Micah said, Such spirits as come to mortals purposely to inflict them with pain or misfortune shall be called evil spirits. So here we have a definition of the term evil spirit. A spirit that purposely inflicts pain and misfortune on mortals and on other spirits as well. Verse 17. And when they go in groups having a leader, that leader shall be called Beelzebub, that is captain of evil, prince of devils. And this was the origin of that word. So being inflicted by one spirit is one thing, but to be inflicted by a plague of spirits is another level. So within cities and nations you have gangs of wandering spirits inspiring mortals with these inspirations to progress not spiritually, to inspire mortals to crime, war, and death. Such is the nature of the spirits of darkness. Now, Book of Micah, son of Jehovah, chapter 21, verse 1 through 5, it states, Jehovah had said, all angels below the first resurrection, except infants, shall be known in heaven and on earth as drudges, for they are such as have not capacity in knowledge or strength of individuality. Verse 2, as there on earth paupers and vagrants and beggars and criminals who are drunks, so are there in Hades spirits that are great trial to both mortals and angels. Verse 3, and they inhabit mortals, and the houses that mortals dwell in. Some mortals have one or two of them, some a score, and some have hundreds of them. Some of them continue to inhabit mortal dwellings long after mortals have abandoned them, even till they have fallen in ruins. And whosoever cometh into such house, the drudges come upon him, to live on him and with him. See that? We see a lot of these in some of these thriller and horror movies, such as The Conjuring, such as Insidious, and some other shows where it shows the spirits of the dead or the evil spirit lingering in the house. And whoever move into the house, the spirit take possession of the people, such as in Amityville Horror, and things of that nature. Now, verse 4, and if a mortal have great wisdom and strength of soul, then the drudges he ruleth over them, to a good purpose, reforming them and raising them up out of darkness and helplessness. So here in a nutshell, this is showing you how to redeem the drudges by your behavior and deeds, because they're all around you. There's no avoiding it. The OAHSPE makes this clear so you could be aware of the influence of the spirit world upon mortals. Verse 5, but if the drudges have greater power than the mortal, then they pull him down in darkness, making of him a man to lust after the affairs of earth. Sometimes they help man to riches and great power. And if they have sons and daughters who are brought up in idleness and ease and luxury, then the drudges fasten upon them, leading them in their own way of lust and debauchery or hard-heartedness. See that? So on the flip side, if they have inspiration over you, they drag you into darkness. So when you cross over in spirit, you become one with them in spirit. So this is why you got to stay strong in the faith of the Creator, so you could avoid these drudges that surrounds us in spirit. And with that, I'd like to say peace and blessings. Shalom.